Hello, everybody. This is episode 1 of the Sebastian Show, and I'm your speaker, Sebastian Ballester. Today, I'm going to be talking about concussions in sports. So, first off, what is a concussion? A concussion is a type of traumatic brain injury which is usually caused by a blow to the head, but it is still possible to suffer concussion from a hit to the body. When you get a concussion, it is because you have been struck by so much force that your brain has been sent flying into your skull. This is actually quite easy to happen, considering your brain is a soft organ surrounded by only spinal fluid and then your hard skull. Concussions are very serious and sometimes can be fatal. Concussions usually heal within days, but sometimes they take weeks, months, or there have even been cases in which healing has taken a year. The symptoms of a concussion fit into 4 categories. I'm going to tell you those 4 categories and go into depth. So the first of those 4 categories are thinking and remembering, then physical, emotional and mood, and then sleep. So for thinking and remembering, the symptoms are not thinking clearly, feeling slowed down, not being able to concentrate, not being able to remember new information or old information. For physical, the symptoms are nausea and vomiting, headache, fuzzy or blurry vision, dizziness, sensitivity to light or noise, balance problems, feeling tired or having no energy. For emotional and mood, the symptoms are easily upset or angered, sad, nervous or anxious, or more emotional. And then for sleep, the symptoms are sleeping more than usual, sleeping less than usual, and having a hard time falling asleep. So the symptoms of a concussion are very serious, and they can often interfere with an athlete's home life and school life. Since there are symptoms of a concussion that go along with emotional and mood, then it could interfere with their relationship with their parents and or siblings. Since at school, they have to obviously remember and focus in class, it could be possible that they have a hard time doing that because of their injury. This should be expressed to the teachers, and a certain system should be set up where the athlete has more time to take tests, do homework, and remember materials for any tests or future lessons. When an athlete is believed to have suffered a concussion, he or she is supposed to be removed from the field of play immediately so that they can get checked out by a doctor and they can be confirmed or denied to have a concussion. If they are confirmed to have a concussion, they must go through a proper protocol which consists of 7 days of monitoring by the doctor with certain tasks on each day to determine if they are allowed to be cleared and returned to the field of play or not. An athlete should never return to the field of play unless cleared by a doctor. There are way too many repercussions of doing so. There are many diseases spawned by concussions, which are second impact syndrome, post-concussion syndrome, and chronic traumatic encephalopathy. These 3 diseases are very serious and cause brain injuries for the rest of people's lives. So if an athlete does return to the field of play before he is supposed to do so and suffers another hit to the head, which causes another concussion, they will suffer from second impact syndrome, which is when basically, since an athlete has suffered another concussion before the first one is healed, they basically go brain dead and lose a lot of their functions like being able to walk, talk, and mainly a lot of other things. Post-concussion syndrome is when an athlete suffers concussive symptoms even after the concussion is healed. Most commonly, those are dizziness, headaches, memory problems, and trouble focusing. So now we're going to talk about chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE for short. CTE is found in people who suffered repetitive brain trauma, so athletes like football players who play a contact sport. And this disease is when, after the repetitive hits, a protein called tau is released throughout the brain, and they form clumps killing brain cells. As the disease progresses, patients start to lose their memory, have problems thinking, they get very confused, impaired judgment, and eventually they develop dementia. This disease is very serious and has been found in many NFL players. Now that you've learned all this, I hope you can see that concussions are something that are very dangerous, and if you're an athlete, I hope you can take this into consideration and realize that your health is more important than the game. So if you believe you do have a concussion, you should get checked out by a doctor immediately and remove yourself from the game. I know sometimes you feel pressured to keep playing because you would like to, and you feel the team needs you, but your health is always way more important. Thank you. I'm Sebastian Ballester. Thank you for listening to the Sebastian Show. Next week, we will have episode 2 and episode 3 where we will be talking to people who have suffered from concussions before. Thank you, and have a good rest of your day.